Amen. We're along, Mom.
Wouldn't be where we are without you guys, obviously.
Obviously.
So today, we're going to be in the book of 1 Samuel. And I know Samuel, this guy is a beast, right? He's a prophet, he was a judge, and he was a priest serving under God. So this guy was gnarly. He's a gnarly guy. I'd imagine that he probably looked something like Austin. If Austin didn't grow a beard.
Wow.
Maybe in a couple of years when he matures. Now Samuel was in service to the Lord during a really rough time in the history of God's people, you know. Yeah, there was a lot of rebellion and there was divine abandonment, and it's just a hard time for them. So this guy had to be hard line on sin, and they had to have a strong conviction to the truth, you know.
Yeah.
And his name means name of God or asked of God. And he was so awesome that they actually named 2 books in the Bible after him. 1st and 2nd Samuel. We didn't have no Deuteronomy or Numbers named after him. It was 1st and 2nd Samuel. But that's not who we're going to talk about today.
Okay.
We're going to be in 1 Samuel. We're not going to be talking about Samuel. You know, Abraham Lincoln once said, "All that I am or ever hope to be, I owe it to my mother."
Wow.
So today we're going to read an account of a righteous mother, and that's the title of our lesson today, a righteous mother. We're going to read about Hannah, the mother of Samuel. You know, her example of courage, commitment, patience, devotion, sacrifice, and love speak loudly from the pages of the Bible. Hannah is a woman that every single one of us can learn from.
Amen.
You know, mothers have a very significant role in the upbringing of children. And of course their fathers do as well, but mothers have it's a different thing with a mom, you know.
Yeah.
And I find it interesting, the role and significance God puts on mothers in the Scriptures. For the simple fact that God allowed Jesus, His Son, whom has no beginning and no end, to be born of an earthly mother, then raised as a child by a mother. I think that's remarkable. That's amazing. Giving birth to your God. Imagine if you're married. Giving birth to your God, the Savior of the world, and then having to raise, literally, an all-perfect, all-powerful being who in fact created you.
Yeah.
Blow your mind, right? Yet God found it necessary and God found it right. That's the way to do it. The love of a mother, us men, we can't understand that.
Preaching.
To literally bring something to life, we men will only understand from a spectator's point of view. Women, on the other hand, have a relationship with God that no man does. The responsibility women have in our lives is amazing as well. The impact our mothers can make on our lives is amazing. Paul speaks of this when writing to Timothy to remind him of where his faith and love and power truly come from. Yes, of course it's God, but through his mother and his grandmother. In 2 Timothy it says, "I am reminded of your sincere faith, which first lived in your grandmother Lois and in your mother Eunice, and I am persuaded now lives in you also. For this reason I remind you to fan into flame the gift of God, which is in you through the laying on of my hands. For the Spirit God gave us does not make us timid, but gives us power, love, and self-discipline."
Amen.
Timothy learned to have sincere faith through his mother and grandmother. What an honor to our mothers to see the impact they make on all of us. You know, Jesus sat down in a group of people and says, "These are my mothers and my sisters, those who do the will of my Father." So today, this is dedicated to all of you, the ladies in the church today. Point number 1. Ask the Lord for anything. 1 Samuel chapter 1. Let's see what Hannah asks of God. 1 Samuel chapter 1. There was a certain man from Ramathaim, a Zuphite from the hill country of Ephraim, whose name was Elkanah, son of Jeroham, the son of Elihu, the son of Tohu, the son of Zuph, an Ephraimite. He had 2 wives. One was called Hannah, and the other was Peninnah. Peninnah had children, but Hannah had none. Year after year, this man went up from his town to worship and sacrifice to the Lord at Shiloh, where Hophni and Phinehas, the sons of Eli, were priests to the Lord. Whenever the day came for Elkanah to sacrifice, he would give portions of the meat to his wife Peninnah and to all her sons and daughters. But to Hannah he gave a double portion because he loved her. And the Lord had closed her womb. And because the Lord had closed her womb, her rival kept provoking her in order to irritate her. This went on year after year. Whenever Hannah went to the house of the Lord, her rival provoked her until she wept and would not eat. Elkanah, her husband, would say to her, Hannah, why are you weeping? Why don't you eat? Why are you downhearted? Don't I mean more to you than 10 sons? Once they had finished eating and drinking in Shiloh, Hannah stood up. Now Eli, the priest, was sitting on a chair by the doorpost of the Lord's temple. In bitterness of soul, Hannah wept much and prayed to the Lord. And she made a vow, saying, O Lord Almighty, if you will only look upon your servant's misery and remember me, and not forget your servant, but give her a son, then I will give him to the Lord for all the days of his life, and no razor will ever touch his head. As she kept on praying to the Lord, Eli observed her mouth. Hannah was praying in her heart, and her lips were moving, but her voice was not heard. Eli thought she was drunk, and said to her, How long will you keep on getting drunk? Get rid of your wine. Not so, my Lord, Hannah replied. I am a woman who is deeply troubled. I have not been drinking wine or beer. I was pouring out my soul to the Lord. Do not take your servant for a wicked woman. I have been praying here out of my great anguish and grief. Eli answered, Go in peace, and may the God of Israel grant you what you have asked of him. She said, May your servant find favor in your eyes. Then she went her way and ate something, and her face was no longer downcast. Early the next morning they arose and worshipped before the Lord. And they went back to their home in Ramah. Elkanah lay with Hannah his wife, and the Lord remembered her. So in the course of time, Hannah conceived and gave birth to a son. She named him Samuel, because I asked the Lord for him. What an amazing account. You can imagine this poor lady. I mean, just having such a hard time. You know, God had caused her to be barren, to not have a child. And that's all she wanted so much. And her husband loved her so much, and even more than his other wife. And so his other wife got envious and jealous, and she had all her kids, and she's got this position of authority. Everybody looked up to her, and she's just making trouble and picking on and bullying poor Hannah. And poor Hannah, you know, she's just like, oh, I just want a child so bad. And she's praying to God, and she's like, God, just give me what I'm asking, and I promise I'll do this thing for you. And you know, it's every mother's desire for anybody who has a child, that their child grow up and do something for you. You want your child to succeed. She's like, if you give me a child, I'll give it to you in service, God. No razor will touch his head, he'll serve you. And it's pretty amazing, you know, and it's interesting in the animal kingdom. You see that the weaker of the flock can get attacked by the stronger of the flock. You know how that happens? And so for us, we have to ask ourselves, when we see weakness in someone, if we have something in our heart against them, are we attacking them? Are you picking on them? Are you bullying them? We have to ask ourselves that. We don't want to do that. The worst thing you can do is attack someone who's weak spiritually or having a hard time. And also we see even Eli. He looked at the outward appearance of this woman. And sees her coming up, and she's just all bummed out and sad. She's probably crying, and she's praying in her heart to God. But it looked like she was talking to herself, like she was kind of crazy and all drunk. And Eli just judged her on an outward appearance. You know, God looks inside of people, and men judge outwardly. And do you as well, when you see the outward appearance of someone, do you just straight out just judge them and say there's something wrong? They're like a crazy person, all jacked up on drugs. And we can't do that. We have to look at the inward. We don't know why someone is the way they are today. You see these homeless people walking around in town here in Kona. And it can be a temptation to go, oh, look at they should have a job, or what's wrong with these people? They can't even be homeless. And I know I've been guilty of that. But we don't know why they're the way they are right now. We don't know what circumstances. We don't know if they've lost family members and they're just going through a really bad spot. God looks at inwardly at someone. They're just crying out to help. They need Jesus just as much as any of us.
Yes. Amen.
So what makes Hannah so righteous, though? You know, she didn't ask God to strike down her enemy. She'd say, oh God, this woman, she's giving me such a hard time. Can't you just jack this psycho up, God? You know, just strike her down, afflict her, kill her kids. You know what I mean? She could have been like that, right?
Yeah.
She could have just been like, Lord, stop this persecution from that. Don't you know I'm having a hard time as enough as it is? Why you let this woman pick on me so much? She's such a bully. God help me. She didn't ask God for that. She didn't ask the persecution to stop. She didn't ask her enemy gets what they deserve. She asked God for a son that would serve him. That's what she asked. What a righteous woman and humble too, right?
Yeah. Come on.
Every mom's desire is for their child to do something great for God. That's what we want. And if that's our desire, if our desire is in line with God's will, God takes care of us.
Amen.
But you know, sometimes we can be that evil person in our heart that wants to see people get what they deserve. Especially if someone's picking on us, bullying us, persecuting us, giving us a hard time in the area of our life, we can want to see them get what they deserve. God humble them out. God strike them down. You know, we can be that person. But that's not how Hannah was.
Yeah.
You know, Eli, when he realized what Hannah was doing, she's like, I'm not drunk. I'm not on wine and beer, and I'm not smoking no crap. I ain't smoking no weed, you know. She's like, no, I'm just praying to God. I'm having a hard time in my life right now. He's like, oh, sorry. May the Lord grant you your desire. Go upon your way. And then we see the result of that. She walked away. She took some food, and her face was uplifted, and she was happy. She said, oh, that's awesome. You blessed me. And sometimes that's all it takes.
Yeah.
A kind word. A little bit of encouragement when someone's having a rough time. If someone's having a hard time, the last thing they need is to get rebuked and laid out. They need a kind word of encouragement to lift them back up to where they need to be. You know, year after year, it says, Hannah went there. Year after year, God didn't give her what she wanted. My question is, how long are you willing to wait for God to give you what you're asking for? How long are you willing to wait? Why didn't God give her what she wanted right away? How come? We don't know, right? Well, God knows when you're ready. You don't. You think you know, you're wrong. God knows exactly what you need when you need it.
Yeah.
Be patient. God will always answer your prayers. Sometimes it's yes. Sometimes it's no. Sometimes it's not yet.
Yeah.
But God knows what's best for us.
That's right.
God's going to test you. Sometimes He doesn't give us what we want when we want it, because He's testing to see if we'll truly love Him, even if we're not getting what we asked for. That's the mom. The kids are asking for her for stuff all the time. She goes, I want this. I want that candy. I want these Pokemon cards. I want these, whatever it is. I want these things. And that's got to say no sometimes. She knows it's not good for them to have the mountain of toys to be too big, you know. You can't clean it up. I'll find it at night on the floor, you know. Those little shop kids. I find them at night. I'm walking through the house at night. Oh, there's a little shop kid. Too big shop kids. But God doesn't give us what we don't need.
Yeah.
You know, and He tests us. When we're asking for something, if we don't get it, do we still love Him? We still want to honor and serve God, even if we're not getting everything we ask for? God's not the owner of a candy store. He's not the toy store owner who can give us everything, you know?
Come on.
You know, I want to lift up Connie right now. For those of you who don't know, we're fundraising for our special missions to help missionaries around the world. We're actually planting a church in Hong Kong in a couple of months, and it's going to cost some money. Like the rent there is like $2,900 a month for a small apartment.
Yep.
And the minimum wage is $4.50 an hour. So the cost of living, it's how much money people make, is a big, huge gap.
Yeah.
So we're going to try and finance these missionaries to get 2 apartments, and the guys are going to live together, the girls are going to live together, and we're going to topple communism, one Chinaman at a time. We're going to convert these Chinamen over there, and it's they're saying like 7 or 8 people to evangelize a few billion. So we're going to need some financial support. So we're happy to do that.
Yeah.
So we had this pre-sale tickets to sell for a car wash, which we had yesterday, and we did sell a bunch. And big thanks to Connie. After church on Sunday last week, she took the challenge to sell these pre-sale tickets at Walmart. And so about 45 minutes into it, she texted Beth, I'm having no luck. Nobody wants to buy these tickets. And Beth was in a meeting. She didn't get back to her. So Connie was like standing there with these 10 tickets in her hand. They're $10 each, and she's like, I don't know about this. I don't think God wants me to be here. He obviously doesn't, because no one's buying any tickets. I asked all these people. They all turned me down, and she's getting kind of downcast in her face, right? And then she looks up to the mountain because God didn't return a text. Because she's in a meeting. It's okay. And she sees, she's talking to us. She's like, I saw the clouds parting. And these beams of light were coming through the clouds. Oh my God. And they were like rainbows. They weren't like this, but they were coming straight down. That was a trick of my eye. God trying to show me something. It was incredible. It just made me think of Jesus on the cross. And Jesus didn't say, He didn't say, oh, I've had enough of this. I've been on this cross. I don't want to do this anymore. This is too hard. Please take me down from the cross. Jesus didn't say that. And by God, David, I don't know what she said, doggone it, David, or something like that. Jesus can do this. I can do this. I'm not going to eat anything. I'm not going to drink anything until I saw every one of these things. Jesus can do that for me. I can do that for Jesus. You know, and so I went back up there and I put a smile on my face. And I started introducing myself to people and asking them to please help our missionaries. And some people were trying to take the tickets and not give me money. I had to fight for the money for these people. You know? And she sold all 10 of those tickets. All 10 of the tickets. Plus she made an extra $70 on top of that in donations. That's incredible. That's a woman that's persevering and loving God, even if He wasn't giving her what she wanted right away. It'd be awesome. All 10 tickets in 1 minute, right? But did Connie really love God? Absolutely. God blessed her and all of us immensely. So thank you for that, Connie.
Thank you, John.
The challenge for us today: ask the Lord for anything, and love Him even if you don't get it. If it's in accordance with His will, He will bless you. Pray that you'll hit your special missions goal this week. Then be like Connie and put in the work to make it happen. Amen. Next week we're going to go to Hilo to turn in our sacrifice to the Lord.
Amen.
You know, in Deuteronomy chapter 16, verse 6, it says, no man should appear before the Lord empty-handed. Let's not appear before God empty-handed. Let's hit that goal for our churches, okay?
Yep.
Point number 2, honor your vow to the Lord. Let's see how Hannah honored her vow to God. Remember, she said, I'll give you my son. If you give me a son, he's yours. 1 Samuel chapter 1, verse 21. When the man of Kona went up with all his family to offer the annual sacrifice to the Lord and to fulfill his vow, Hannah did not go. She said to her husband, after the boy is weaned, I will take him and present him before the Lord, and he will live there always. Do what seems best to you, Elkanah, her husband, told her. Stay here until you have weaned him. Only may the Lord make good His word. So the woman stayed at home and nursed her son until she had weaned him. After he was weaned, she took the boy with her, young as he was, along with a 3-year-old bull, an ephah of flour, and a skin of wine, and brought him to the house of the Lord at Shiloh. When they had slaughtered the bull, they brought the boy to Eli, and she said to him, as surely as you live, my Lord, I am the woman who stood here beside you praying to the Lord. I prayed for this child, and the Lord has granted me what I asked of Him. So now I give him to the Lord. For his whole life he will be given over to the Lord, and he will worship. And he worshipped the Lord there.
Amen.
Well, that's amazing. Imagine how hard that must have been for him.
Yeah.
To finally get what she had been desiring year after year from God. To finally get this little child. She got pregnant and she carried this child in her womb for 9 months. She gave birth to him and she nursed him. Back then they would nurse their child for 2 or 3 years. So that's all she had with him. Just 2 or 3 years with this baby. And then she handed him over to the priest. Raise him up. I promised God I would do this, and now I'm fulfilling my vow.
Wow.
That's amazing. Imagine the husband. Like, whoa, that's my son. What's up? You know, I can better try to give Luke another blessing. You know, no, they're going to talk about it. They're going to get some advice. I don't know if I'm back on that, but this is what she did. That's incredible. Following God is all about sacrifice.
Yeah.
That's what following God is. Being a Christian, being a disciple is about sacrifice.
Yeah.
He sacrificed for us. We have to sacrifice too. You better believe it. She made a vow, and that is that. Her husband honored his vow to the Lord as well. Where do you think she learned this from? Where do you think Hannah learned how to be sacrificial and to honor her vow before God? It says it right here. Year after year, you would have to offer the annual sacrifice to the Lord to fulfill his vow.
Wow.
He taught his wife to be sacrificial, to fulfill vows that she followed.
Amen.
That's a good woman right there.
Yeah.
You know, making our annual sacrifices to God, kind of like special missions, right?
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. We're making an annual sacrifice to God. And it's to help the temple, the temple of God, spread Christianity throughout this world.
Come on.
There's a lot of people that don't know about Jesus in China, let me tell you. It's an atheist, communist country. Now I want to lift up for a moment here Alex and Rafael. They're not physical parents, but they do have some spiritual kids.
Come on.
They have their spiritual kids, and they're giving up their spiritual kids for God. We got Logan and Melissa in the back room there watching kids, right? And so we have a lot of singles in our church here. We have a singles Bible talk on Thursday night. We need to start another one. So Logan and Melissa are going to be Bible talk leaders in training, and given up by their parents as themselves. Beth and I were going to disciple them directly to train to lead a Bible talk. And Austin and Gretchen will be leading it throughout the summer, and at the end of summer, hopefully, prayerfully, God willing, we'll hand the Bible talk over to these kids. Amen. So that's amazing. And a couple other changes we got coming up in the church too is Martin and Lynette will be our new Kids Kingdom coordinators. And Alex and Rafael will be our Mercy coordinators. Mercy is our benevolent arm of our church worldwide. We raise money and we send out missionaries and we help give people clean water and build houses and we do benevolent things around the community. And so Mercy Worldwide is our organization, our benevolent organization. They're amazing. We have our Mercy event coming up on June 17th to be announced what we'll be doing for that day. It'll be a Saturday. So save the date. It's an awesome time.
Come on.
But anyway, we'd like to thank you so much for our servants in the church. Really appreciate you guys. Back to our lesson though, any of us that were baptized as disciples made a vow to the Lord.
Amen.
What is your good confession? The Bible, what we ask when someone gets baptized. Jesus is Lord.
Amen.
That's your good confession. That's your vow to make Jesus the Lord of your life.
That's right.
Let me ask you a question. Is He still Lord of your life?
Question.
Is He your Lord of your finances? Is He the Lord of your time? Is He the Lord of every part of your life? Is Jesus Lord?
Amen.
You made a vow. If you're baptized, you answered that question, Jesus is Lord, you made a vow. Honor your vow. Jesus says in Luke chapter 14:27, and anyone who does not carry his cross and follow me cannot be my disciple. In verse 33, in the same way, any of you who does not give up everything he has cannot be my disciple. Did Jesus really mean every day? Did Jesus really mean everything? Do those questions sound familiar in your mind? Did you hear that question? Genesis chapter 3 verse 1, the Bible says, now the serpent was more crafty than any of the wild animals the Lord God has made. He said to the woman, did God really say you must not eat from the tree in the garden? You know, Satan is lying to us night and day.
Yeah.
Did God really mean what He said? If He can convince us to lower our convictions, to lower our standards, then He can get us to pretty much do anything.
Yeah.
Some of us are unwilling to carry our cross daily. Some of us are unwilling to give up everything for Jesus. There is no job, degree, hobby, relationship, no amount of money, and there's especially no sin that is worth holding on to.
Amen.
We have got to honor our vow to God. We all have that one thing in our heart that we're holding on to, right?
Yeah.
It's holding us back. We're holding on to something that's holding us back from honoring God and serving Him with all of our hearts. If you're feeling guilty about it right now as I'm speaking, I have a challenge for you. Get open about it.
Yeah.
Turn yourself in to the sheriff.
Amen.
You guys ever watch Dog the Bounty Hunter? You
Yeah.
ever see that show? Kind of a corny show, like cartoon character guys, you know? So what happens is these guys, they go out, they get busted by the cops, they get arrested, go before the judge, and the judge's like, you gotta pay this fine, you gotta do this time. But I'll let you go for a little while first, and then they run, right? Like, I ain't paying no fine. Dog, the bounty hunter's droopy, they gave him the money up front, right? And so the guys, they take the money, they run basically, they don't honor their vow. They're running and running. The dog's looking for him, right? Chasing him, you got his working son, his wife, they're looking for him. They're looking and hunting and knocking on doors, they're kicking doors down, they're showing up. And then the guys will run, right? They're running down the street, cross traffic, and here's the dog chasing them, his son shooting him with his paintball gun. Tackle him in the street, in front of everybody on TV. How embarrassing that would be. Just turn yourself in. It's going to be so embarrassing for you. Get tackled in front of everybody. You can run. You'll only die tired. Just turn yourself in. There's nothing worth holding on to. Yo, hey. My challenge to you guys is give it up. Turn yourself into the sheriff and beg for mercy from the judge. Just, I got the cuffs. Just take me in. Just turn yourself in. When we give sacrificially to God, that which is most precious to us, He blesses us.
Yeah.
And it's not just money, but it's that too, right? It's our time. When we give our time to the Lord, He blesses us. When we give our effort to the Lord, when we work hard for Him, He blesses us. I want to lift up everybody that came to the car wash in the hot sun up there. But we had a good time, right? We're laughing and singing. We thought it was being mean a little bit. It's like, give me this one. It's like, all right, sorry. Get to the time. But we had a great time and raising money for God. And God's going to bless our efforts. Because we gave our time, we gave our effort. But giving our heart sacrificially to God, that's harder even than our time or money, you know?
Yeah.
Money for me, that's nothing. I'm poor, I don't care. Austin says, you're all rich. I'm like, whatever, dude. Like 60 grand, you're poor in Hawaii if you make 60 grand a year, you know? Like, but anyway, no, we are, compared to the rest of the world. Austin's right. But giving our heart to people, that's hard.
Yeah.
Because people trample on your heart, they take it out, they tap dance on it. Giving our heart to people, it's hard to do. But the Lord will bless you if you give your heart to people. Jesus gave His heart to us, and we tap dance on it and a lot worse, didn't we? Giving our love to people. When people aren't being nice to us, when people are unloving and are harsh, they're critical of us, it's hard to love people like that. But when we do that, God blesses us.
Yeah.
In this life and in the next, God will bless you.
Amen.
Point number 3, the Lord will deliver you and bless you.
Amen.
Let's see how much God blessed Hannah. Chapter 2 of 1 Samuel. Amen, you guys there?
Amen.
Chapter 2, verse 1. Then Hannah prayed and said, my heart rejoices in the Lord. In the Lord my horn is lifted high. My mouth boasts over my enemies, for I delight in your deliverance. There is no one holy like the Lord. There is no one besides you. There is no rock like our God. Do not keep talking so proudly, or let your mouth speak such arrogance. For the Lord is a God who knows, and by Him deeds are weighed. The bows of the warriors are broken, but those who stumbled are armed, and with strength. Those who were full hire themselves out for food, but those who were hungry hunger no more. She who was barren has borne 7 children, but she who has had many sons pines away. Wow, this is amazing. You know, I think this is so incredible that God delivered her. from her personal enemy, her co-wife. God delivers us from our personal enemies. He does, in due time. And then God blessed her. He delivered her, then He blessed her. 7 children, the Bible says. She actually bore 6 children, but 7 is a complete number, and maybe she was writing about herself. But 7, she says. Wow, isn't that incredible?
Yeah.
I want to lift up Beth, an incredible mom. Beth. And my own mother, they had a personal enemy in their life. It was the same guy. Yours truly. Because my mom raised me. She gave birth to me. She carried me in her womb for 9 months and gave birth to me. And she had high hopes for me to do great things for God. And to just be an amazing person. And I turned out to be a dud. I turned out to be a drug addict. And a homeless guy on the streets, in and out of jail. I chose to do those things. And I didn't like attack my mom, but I did steal from my mom money to buy drugs. I lied to my mom. She sleepless nights, in tears and crying. It was a terrible time for my mother. And I persecuted her in that way. I broke her heart. I aged her. I did. And God delivered her, you know. And the same as Beth. Beth and I met, she's a young, innocent girl when we met. And we got married. I tricked her into falling in love with me and marrying me. And I ended up persecuting her too, the same way. With drugs and alcohol, you know, coming home late at night, lying all the time. It was a terrible time for Beth. It's like, I didn't sign up for this. This is not what I signed up for. My husband's persecuting me, you know. This poor, sweet, innocent woman, but God delivered them. God delivered them and blessed them with yours truly. You're welcome. No, but God really did, though. He delivered all of us. But it wasn't until I made a decision to change my life and to repent of my sins. And my mom and my wife Beth both became Christians as well. When I changed, they changed too.
Amen.
And God delivered all of us and blessed all of us. And it's amazing what we have now. My wife and I have 3 amazing, beautiful children. My mom is doing amazingly well on a walk in our church over there as well. And it's because God delivered us and blessed us from our personal enemies and from the devil and from sin.
Yeah.
But we had to make a decision to change our lives and give our lives to God.
Yeah.
We've now dedicated our lives to God in His service. Willing to go anywhere and go everywhere and give up everything. But we had to make that decision to do that. And why wouldn't God deliver us? Why wouldn't God bless us? Anybody who endures suffering for His sake, anybody who sacrifices for His name's sake, God will deliver and bless.
Yeah.
That's what God does. God is sovereign, and God is holy. Everything that happens, whether good or bad, God causes it to happen, or God allows it to happen. Let's continue our reading in verse 6.
Come on, babe.
The Lord brings death and makes alive. He brings down to the grave and raises up. The Lord sends poverty and wealth. He humbles and He exalts. He raises the poor from the dust and lifts the needy from the ash heap. He seats them with princes and has them inherit a throne of honor. For the foundations of the earth are the Lord's. Upon them He has set the world. He will guard the feet of His saints, but the wicked will be silenced in darkness. It is not by strength that one prevails. Those who oppose the Lord will be shattered. He will thunder against them from heaven. The Lord will judge the ends of the earth. He will give strength to His king and exalt the horn of His anointed. Then Elkanah went home to Ramah, but the boy ministered before the Lord under Eli the priest. Well, that's incredible. Don't rely on your own strength. Don't wait till God shatters you. Don't make decisions in your life that will cause God to oppose you. Don't do that to yourself. Don't. Be patient with God. He'll give you exactly what you need, when you need it, at the exact right time in your life. Don't stress out. God will take care of you. Everything that happens on this week, you see this, everything is good and bad. God causes it to happen or God allows it to happen. If it's bad, it's meant to get your attention, to turn you back to God, to rely on Him. You can't make it on your own strength into heaven. You can't make it. You'll fail. There's only one way to get to heaven, that's through Jesus Christ. Don't try to do it on your own. If you're trying to be a Christian on your own power, you're going to fail. It's all about God. It's always about God. It's not about us. We're nothing. We're nothing. In closing, we see here an incredible example of righteousness and a powerful woman of God. A righteous mother that loved God, wanted to make a difference in a cruel world. She didn't want to hurt her enemy. She knew that God desired mercy over sacrifice. We witnessed her trials. We witnessed her suffering. We witnessed her conviction. We witnessed her vow before God. We see how God delivered her and blessed her so incredibly much. She stands to this day as a supreme example of devotion and sacrifice. And she teaches us what true commitment to the Lord of the universe looks like. So the challenge I have for each and every one of us today, for the men, don't think you can't be taught anything by a woman. I've learned so much from my mom and my wife and my mothers in the faith and the beautiful sisters in our church. The examples and the sacrifices and the commitment that the Hannahs in our church display is something we can all learn from. For the women, be like Hannah. Set your heart's desire on doing great things for God. Mothers, we honor you today. And pray that you know we love you, respect you, and thank you for all that you've done in our lives. Continue to be impactful for God. As you go about your week, family, ask God for it. Be patient. Let it happen in God's time and in God's power. Honor your vow to Jesus. Don't hold back any part of your heart. We have an annual sacrifice to God to uphold this week. Let's all show our gratitude to God and our love for our overseas missionaries and fulfill that. God will deliver you and God will bless you. Let Him do His thing. Stay out of His way. Amen.
So we're going to sing one more song before we conclude service. Please stand. We're going to sing song 202. Okay.
We have a little presentation for the kids real quick before you start class. Sorry. Anticipation of the uttermost sweet.
Give it up for the hoodlums. Amen. Psalm 202.